I'm Fred Hoekstra. I immigrated from Holland about 28 years ago, so that is basically why I haven't got an accent anymore. When I came to New Zealand, there were no professional hoof trimmers. I started up hoof trimming by myself, and I was the only trimmer in the country for 12 and a half years. Nobody seemed to know how to trim cows. The method of the way we trim in Europe was quite different to what they are doing here, especially the techniques and how to trim those cows. I knew there was a better way of doing it. The whole morale on the farm is suffering when you have lame cows. It's just part of farming. You see the animal in pain, and therefore you want to help. It's disheartening from an animal welfare point of view. It is disheartening because farmers are not getting the maximum out of their farm. It's just fantastic to be able to show a different way of doing things. My passion really is just to help farmers to be the best they can be by raising the standards in hoof care. What can we do to minimize this lameness thing? Make it less stressful, make it more enjoyable for everyone involved. I see a lot of major mistakes being made in hoof care that I think contribute to lameness. People don't necessarily recognize those mistakes themselves. They keep doing it, and that can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. The reality is that we've got 6 million cows in New Zealand, and I can't trim 6 million cows by myself. So I started up a hoof trimming business. I had to do a lot of demonstrations in order to show people what I was doing different compared to most veterinarians and farmers here in New Zealand. But when they saw what I was doing, it made sense for farmers here to go with what I was doing, and therefore they asked me to do a lot of trimming for them. If a cow is not lame yet, but it's already starting to go that direction, cows are just trying really hard to hide that. You're already starting to lose 5% of their milk production. There is no business sense in that. So it makes a lot more sense to actually just stop ourselves and just look at, hey, what can we do? And it doesn't have to be expensive, but what can we do to minimize this lameness thing? And that's how the business grew from just being a hoof trimmer to now having a team of hoof trimmers on the road, selling hoof care equipment, and also doing a lot of training now as well. It's grown to the point where we now are actually developing a different business called the Dairy Hoof Care Institute that will take care of the training side of it, and the Veehof will stay with equipment and the service and hoof care. We now have been approached by Massey University to train vet graduates. Now I can teach them the proper methods of how to trim cow's feet.
Went to a hoof trimming workshop 10 years ago now that Fred was running. I just went along to learn the basics of hoof care and treatment, and I saw the benefits of using a professional service like Veehof. Their expertise and their level of knowledge is first class.
25 years after I started, we now have 20, maybe 25 hoof trimmers in the country. And I've had the privilege of being able to train most of those people. The more professional hoof trimmers you have out there, the more trimming becomes a normal, natural thing in New Zealand farming systems. You can actually see an industry developing, and it's just awesome to be part of that whole process, really.